Thursday, everyone. Welcome to I don't have a podcast, Tanisha. I don't have a podcast.
Okay.
But if I did have a podcast today, we will be talking about homeschooling as resistance and healing with our special guest, Tanisha Watkins.
Watkins Henderson.
Watkins Henderson. Welcome.
Thank
Yay.
you. So glad to be here, girl.
Listen, I was telling Tanisha backstage that I'm kind of like a fan. I
Oh.
am a complete fan of Tanisha and so happy that she agreed to come and talk to us. And I was also telling her that all of these conversations got started because I'm a homeschooling mom. I've been a homeschooling mom for about 5 years. And my little girl is transitioning to public school, I think.
Oh, you sing?
Now, Tanisha might talk me out of this. I don't know. We'll see. I might change my mind at the end of this conversation. But I'm a fan because I'm a part of one of her Facebook groups that talks about conscious parenting. And I eat it all up because I don't think I shared this with you, but my audience, the people that I work with, are individuals like me that are recovering from their childhoods. And so what that means is that we kind of are learning how to parent all over again. And so your group on Facebook has been amazing. It has been amazing for me to just kind of, even as a therapist, like just to have a place to talk through some of the difficult parts of parenting, including not even homeschooling, but just the difficult parts of parenting and kind of taking myself out of the equation and making it about my kids, right? And so thank you for creating that platform and thank you for manning it and thank you for being such an amazing, amazing part of this world where we get to experience and kind of embody conscious parenting.
Oh, thank you. Whenever I hear that, like a person is a fan or like they follow me or I've taught them so much and it's an adult, right? It always throws me because I am a children's person, right? Like I dig, so when adults tell me that, it really is a special, because I feel like I'm engaging with your inner child.
Yes, you absolutely are. You absolutely are.
And so thank you, because that's like the heart of what I want to do, right? I want to meet parents where they are and like nurture that inner child who never really got to like feel heard and seen and celebrated and seen as capable. So whenever parents tell me that, whenever adults tell me that, it's like the highest compliment I can receive. So thank you.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing, amazing job. And you know what, since we're here, can you tell us about the group and how you started, how you formed the group, like what made you start the group and where we can find the group if anyone is interested? I'm gonna have to post anonymously going forward.
Well, so actually I didn't start off as this kind of parent.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I was confronted on Facebook by somebody else who was like, you are an abuser. You are abusive. And I couldn't turn away. Right?
Yeah.
Those are horrible words to hear.
Yeah.
And it was a good day because I was able to say, tell me more. And they did. They was like, blah, blah, blah. You not thinking about your kids, click, click, click. And they invited me to the group. Okay.
Wow.
So I came into the group a learner. And when I saw how those women respected children, how they defended children, my initial question was, why don't I see children like this? Why am I not like this? And then so I did, it clicked and I switched. And then I was invited to be an admin. And then I was invited to be, like the face of the group. And then it exploded, right? All these people are like, Tanisha, I learned so much from you. And I was like, I learned so much from y'all.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so let me slow down because you gave us a lot just in that one sentence, those couple of sentences. So you said that someone confronted you in a Facebook group. I love community. Community is so important for that very reason. And I love that community because number one, they had the audacity to confront you about something they observed in you.
Yeah.
But then you had the audacity to allow and make space for it. That's why I love community. That is community at work right there.
Yeah.
I
and
love that.
and
So
it's
what
strong. It's strong in our
it is.
culture, right?
Yeah, yeah. So when you say so, talk to us about what they were observing, and you don't have to talk specifically about you. You can talk in general about the observations that happen in the community with that need confronting and parenting. But
Hmm.
set that stage for us.
So I think this was when I even was a spanker. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think I had said, you can spank in the right way. And the person that confronted me grew up getting spanked,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so she had a whole different perspective. And so she talked to me from the perspective of a child who had been spanked. Now,
Mm.
this is where my story gets even crazier. I didn't grow up getting spanked,
Mm-hmm.
but here I was spanking my own kids. So when she gave me that perspective of this is how I felt when I was being spanked by my mother, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what you are doing to your kids, that's when it clicked,
Yeah.
right? Because my kids, I don't want them to feel what she was telling me she felt. And it
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah.
I had to break that blocker that says, no, I'm doing this for their good. No, they need this so that they can become the people I want them to be. But she
Yeah.
broke it down really specifically to the heart of it. If you love your children, do you want them to feel like this? And I was like, no.
Yeah. That's so good.
That's when it started. That's when I got in the group and I heard more people tell their stories. And then I started researching. Then it was like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah. I
what
love
is
that. I love that. I said I interviewed maybe about 2 weeks ago. I interviewed James Wright, who's I provide triple P, which is positive parenting, and he's like over the one of the people that are over the positive programming in my county. And one of the things that we talked about is if we remove spanking from the equation, do we have any other parenting skills?
right?
Do we have any other skills? And I think that's what I hear you saying is that, you were looking out for your kids,
Yes.
but you didn't have anything else in your repertoire, so to speak, to help them to be kind of in the image of what you felt like they needed to be. So you thought you were helping them by spanking,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
and you had to evolve beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
My intentions were absolutely pure,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
My goal for them was success, right? And for me, spanking was that. And almost I told myself, the reason I didn't get spanked is because I didn't need it. Like that's what I
Mm-hmm.
had convinced myself of.
Mm-hmm.
My children had turned into people that needed it, so I was
Mm-hmm.
giving them what they needed. Oh my
You
goodness.
see the meme about, we talk about gentle parenting, we need some gentle kidding.
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
right? Like they weren't, and children aren't, right? And I wasn't either, but I had convinced myself. I
Yeah.
just had a mature mother. My mother
Yeah.
was very mature. And
Yeah.
she was like, I'm going to treat my child like an individual who is capable.
That's good.
And that's what she did.
Yeah.
And so I had to go on the search. I don't know how my mama was so mature because I was not. And so I had to read. I
Mhm.
had to get books. I had to research online. I had to literally develop strategies and I'll tell you, I really had to start with how is their brain even made?
Mhm. So you have to develop information about kids in general, like their development, what they need from us in different stages and developmental parts of their life. Not even necessarily, we'll get to you, but you have to just find out what your kids needed, is what you're saying. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
how could I give it to them, right? I was trying to beat it into them.
Hmm.
So it's almost like I had to go backwards, right? I had to think about what is my goal?
That's good. At
And
each
then,
stage of their development, what do they need? So then you make that a goal.
yes. Yep.
So how do you, because if you are a hitter, or if you are recovering from your childhood, sometimes
Yeah.
your own level of arousal is very high. So how, for people that are kind of curious about conscious parenting and maybe interested in adopting that lifestyle for their family,
Yeah.
how do they take care of themselves as they're adopting what they're reading in these books and in these podcasts and all the thing and in the Facebook groups?
Yeah. I love that. It is really the number one question. Um, And I tell my clients, I tell the friends I work with, it's all self-compassion is always like the first tool.
Yeah.
It's the first tool, because if you cannot be kind to yourself in your hard moments, you won't be able to be kind to your children in those hard moments. If you don't even believe you are okay with it, like sometimes you can be so guilted that you're not doing it good, or who's gonna see you. Let's talk about the, that guilt on Black people that says I got to do everything good, and if I don't, something wrong with me, and I got to make sure that my child make sure I look good. Like just moving. Okay, I'll tell you, you need to hear that, but you also need to answer back to it with compassion. I
Mm.
think those are the two top main things to slow down a moment.
Slow down in a moment. Yeah.
You
That is
don't have
so
to fix
important.
this right away, right? That
Mm-hmm.
was like the number one thing that I had to learn and that I pass on to people brand new to this.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, and I'm sure it's back in slavery rooted in us, right? Like, I got to handle this now because if I don't, my child might get kidnapped. My child might end up in
Mm-hmm.
jail. Like, we just go there so quickly
Yeah.
to the drastic. So, the
Yeah.
first step is really like slowing down and saying, whoa, this is just right now.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
have
so
to
good.
do anything. I don't have to do anything. As long
Yeah.
as they ain't running the street or like got a knife in their hand, like we can chill. We can chill and be kind to ourselves first. And what I found is even saying that out loud helps me. I'm overwhelmed. You're not doing anything bad. I just need to do some breathing before I can help you.
So
And then,
would a parent say that to their child? Is that
yeah,
what you're? Yeah.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
vulnerable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and it's honest. And that's what we've been programmed not to want that from our children,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's disrespectful. They can't just say, but no, we want this soft, oh my goodness, this is deep, right? For Black people, because we've been
Mm-hmm.
hardened. So
Mm-hmm.
like this is this softness to yourself that you can
Yeah.
offer to your kids that they will then offer to themselves.
Yeah.
And
That's
it'll
so.
pass on.
Yeah. That's so so good. I after I did the conversation with James, I saw this post by, I can't remember her name. I think it's like DeGrew,
Oh
something
yeah.
DeGrew,
Oh yeah,
and she
that's
was
her.
talking about
Mm-hmm.
how she made an observation about Black kids and white kids,
Yep.
and like let's say for instance you're in the bank
Yep.
and you see the Black mom telling her Black kids, be still, don't move, don't touch anything, don't say anything, don't be loud, don't do this. And you see the white kids just enjoying the space, just being themselves. And the conversation kind of evolved into how does that child that's been told, be still, don't move, don't say anything, versus the kid who's been allowed to just be. How do they fare as whole grown adults living in a world that tells them also don't be, don't touch, don't say anything? Are they going to be able to own their space and be who God created a universe, their parents, who they themselves need and desire to be?
Impossible, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're getting two different messages, right? The white child is getting the message of this is my world. They can't do what I can do. And we get mad at white children for knowing that, but we create that message when we treat our children like that. And so the Black child is getting the message of, oh, this ain't my place to be. Where
Mm-hmm.
is my place to be? Because I don't get to be me at home either. The
Mm-hmm.
message is I'm always watched. My
Yeah.
Black skin is a curse.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to send that message, but that's the message that our children end up getting. Being Black is a burden. Who would want to be Black? I
Yeah.
can't be free. I can't move. I get fussed at all the time. I got to be better than them, but be treated worse than them. It's a
Mm-hmm.
horrible thing. And then Black children they get in trouble for not standing up for themselves. But it's
Mm-hmm.
confusing. When do
Yeah.
I get to stand up for myself? And when am I supposed to shrink down? So now they got to be mind readers and decide, when do I shrink and when do I rise up?
That's so good. And what's the answer to that? Because it's so difficult. And I hear what you're saying, because even for me, I have a son that's about to be 14, so he's not the little cute little kid that he once was, and so people are seeing him as this. adult who is responsible for his
Mhm.
choices, and he is. And so, is there a balance? What is the balance? Like, how do we look at that as parents raising kids in a world that is sometimes afraid of them?
Yeah. Um, I think the balance goes back to what we've been talking about: self-compassion,
Mm-hmm.
teaching that to your children, vulnerability, which means
Mm-hmm.
we do have to have those hard, heavy conversations. Even when we're doing it, when we're being extra uptight, you can say to them, "Baby, this is a place where mommy feels really watched and afraid that somebody might whatever, right? Might
Mm-hmm.
call CPS, might say I'm a bad mama, and that carries a weight for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're doing your best. Can you stay close to me and tug on my arm if you need to move so that we can work that out together?" It's this space of, I've got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the conversations grow as they get bigger. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
listen, when you're in certain situations, I know you might not be doing the wrong thing, but you're going to have to be aware of other people that are going to be perceiving that. And I
That's
need you to know how to respond in a way that gets you back home, but also doesn't deny you the autonomy,
mm-hmm.
the dignity that
Mm-hmm.
you deserve.
That's so good. That's
You
so
can
so
you can
good.
do both, but
You
it's
can
gonna take softness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Speaking of softness, I always tell people any chance I get that I have been trying to integrate this whole soft girl life, carefree black girl life into my own experience. But what I've noticed is that the homeschooling
Okay.
is kind of what helped me to enter into that phase of softness.
Okay.
And it helped my nervous system to regulate because I do work, but it's like very like 10 hours a week.
Nice.
10, and so me not always being on the go so much and
Oh
creating those spaces
yeah.
where I was able to calm myself down and just actually be like, I fly kites with my daughter, we're gardening, we are playing, we're so just the homeschooling her has
Yeah.
helped me to
Yeah.
regulate and to soften
Oh
and
yeah.
to be calm. And so, can you speak to that for, especially for moms that may not have the let's I guess let's just shift into homeschooling. And how do we do that in
Yeah.
creating that environment for our kids?
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I think the reason it did that for you is because there's this there's more time.
Yeah.
Right? Time doesn't feel so constricted and so
Hmm.
tight. And so black people as a whole, and I think it's universal in America. There's this scarcity mindset and
Hmm.
there's this abundance mindset.
Hmm.
Scarcity mindset is, there's not enough time. We got to get this in. If we don't get this in, we're not going to have enough time. Let's go. Abundance mindset is no, there's enough. There's enough space. Life is a good teacher. We can figure this out. And so homeschooling, I love it because it does give you this abundance mindset. We got access to every library.
Hmm.
The internet is a wonderful thing of like everything that I've done with my children. I have 5 of them. Okay.
Wow. Look at
Everything that
you.
I've done with them, my path has just been like easily zoned out. I didn't start off this game knowing I know what I'm gonna do. Click, 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 click. Because in essence, that can be like a scarcity mindset. I gotta do this. I
Hmm.
gotta check this off. But for me, homeschooling has been this roller coaster in a sense. But this idea of I'm not doing a straight path. If we got to turn this way to get over here to the next time, then we going to turn. If my son right here can't start writing at 10 and he got to wait till 12, we going to do it. So
Yeah.
like this mindset of we flow with what the child likes, what the child needs, and where they want to thrive at.
Hmm.
I
That's
love
so
that
great.
part. I
Yeah.
love that part.
Yeah. Yeah. How do we set up homeschool? Like what do you consider as homeschool? Like some people call it homeschool, some people say world school, out school. Like what exactly is it for those that may be curious but are not exactly sure?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it. You get to
Mhm.
decide that for your family.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
You get to decide what works best for your family and for your personality, for your
Yes.
children's personality.
Yes.
You get to craft all these in and out things that make your here's the thing. You have to believe that your child wants success as much as you do.
Yeah.
Once you believe that, you can craft out success for that child very I don't like saying easy because people think if they struggle with it, it's wrong.
Hmm.
Things can be easy and you still struggle with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's this reminder to yourself that, oh, wait a minute, I'm making this harder than it has to be. I
Hmm.
can craft this out in a way that works for the children in my family.
Hmm.
But you got to turn off that gaze of other people.
Hmm. What does that mean? What does that mean and how does that look?
Mm-hmm. So it's always a mindset, right? You
Hmm.
go into this with the belief that and the knowledge that your children are capable of learning. You are capable of teaching them,
Hmm.
but more importantly, you are capable of teaching them how to teach themselves.
Hmm.
And so, turning off that outside gaze starts with I'm not going to compare what my children do with each other. I'm
Yeah.
not going to compare what my child at this age does with a child who goes to school at this age does.
Hmm.
I'm going to shut off comparison. I'm going to be a student of my child
Hmm.
and I'm going to focus there. I'm going
Yeah.
to focus on giving them the tools to read. That's always the first one, right? Because once they can read, they don't even need a teacher no more. They
Yeah. The world just
release.
opens up. Hmm.
It just opens
Opens up.
up.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
so if you know you need structure, then you can have the subjects.
Yeah. I
But if
created a structure. So when I first got started, and I mean, I have a little bit of a teaching background at church, but I created a structure
mhm,
of our day, but they were like blocks of time. In those blocks of time, I like would say, okay, in this block of time, I think that this would be for socialization. And so we would do things
mhm,
socially, like outside.
yep,
We would go to parks and like wherever people were.
yep,
And then we would have like a social studies block and we would just study people, things, that. So those blocks, but they were very, I was very fluid in how it showed up every day. And I
yeah,
also created time for me. Like I had gym time in there every single day, which is
mhm.
kind of important too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Mhm.
says a lot to our children
Yeah.
too. Because a lot of people, especially with conscious parenting and even with homeschooling, people will say, oh, you're not preparing them for the real world. I'm not preparing them to suffer in the real world. I
Hmm.
am preparing them to be able to thrive and know that they can compartmentalize their time.
Yeah.
They can choose what they're going to work on. And I thought this was interesting. College, I don't know if it was a professor or like a person who admits college students, but he said that homeschool children do better in college
I believe it. Hmm.
because they know how to compartmentalize their time.
I believe it. I believe it.
Whereas traditional schools, this. And
Yeah.
so when they get to college, they like, oh, too much freedom. But
Yeah.
homeschoolers,
Yeah. Yeah. For people that may work
yeah.
and desire to homeschool, can you talk about that? So we talked about setting it up, and it can literally look like anything you desire it to be. Like initially, I was like, well, it had to be like 7 to whatever, but actually, when we got started, it didn't even have to be that. Like I know a homeschooling mom, she does it on the
Yep.
weekends. Like, and it's only maybe in the beginning of the day, and then we do a couple of hours at the end of the day. It's not even because when you think about regular school, they're not actually learning the entire 8 hours, 7 hours, however long they're at school. There
Nope.
are lots of breaks. There's recess, there's lunch. So how do you set it up, and then how do you make it happen for people that may be still working?
Yeah. So again, we live in the day of so much knowledge, right? So there's internet school. You
Hmm.
can absolutely have online school. Like they are
Hmm.
school public free online schools. So like
Hmm.
there's that. They have access to that. Um, there are people who give classes in the community. So
Yep.
co-ops.
Hmm.
You can go and sign your children up for classes that they are interested in.
Hmm.
That gives them this opportunity to meet more people who are interested in it too, right?
Hmm.
And then there are
That's
some
the
people who
socialization, which is
that
very
is
important.
there's so much out there. There's
Mhm,
unschooling, which
mhm,
is where you let the child's desires drive what they learn, right?
mhm.
So that's this idea where you go to your child and you say, what are some things you're interested in that you want to learn about? And you can craft out the day with your child, right? You
Yes.
can make those blocks of times like, okay, on this time, you said you wanted to learn this in math. So this is what we're going to do, right? You can craft that out in a way that supports what they want to do. So yeah, outside teachers, there are people who they will homeschool your children for you.
Yes.
Look in the community for
Yeah.
like people that are absolutely, because maybe they're is the only child and they want their child to have enough. There are so many options
Yeah,
on
I
how.
started. I started a science club and science and an acting club, and so I would invite people to my house because I wanted. I was like, she is an actress, right? And she loves science, and so, oh no, what happened? Come back on. I'll keep talking while she's coming back on. So I started this science club and acting club in my home, and I invited people in the community to join us, and it was amazing. It was completely amazing, and so I'm glad that we were able to get that. And I need to get one of my girlfriends, she is actually starting or has started a co-op meetup here local to Charlotte. And so I'm going to see if I can invite her on as well. There she is.
I'm
I'm going to
sorry,
see
I
if I
got
can.
too
It's
excited.
fine.
You said she an actress. My daughter is an actress
Oh,
too.
that's so funny. And I was just sharing that I invited people over to my home and we would just have the classes at my home, like on the porch. And so it's been amazing. And then we did the rec center as well. And so the rec center has toddler programming. They have programming for different age groups.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so you can
Rec
make it look
center.
however you want it to look, or you can do it on the weekends, like my other girlfriend.
You can. Yeah,
Hmm.
you can do it when you get off work. Like if you want to
Yep.
do a few, like my kids can finish school within like 2 hours, sometimes an hour,
Hmm.
because right, they're just
Go to it.
driven to be like, I'm done. Like I can get it, I can learn it. Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
many ways. I love that. And the library. The
The
library has
library is
programs
amazing. It's amazing. The library has everything for free, mostly.
for free.
Mostly
For
for free. Yeah, it's
such a good
amazing.
resource.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so what I think I hear you saying, I know what I am saying is that this is like if you really desire to homeschool and you're working, or if you may not have, the financial resources, there's like this is still very possible and accessible even for you.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of free resources, right? Like there's free online homeschool. You can craft what they want to learn by going to the
Mhm,
library and getting all the books on space, like if that's
mhm,
something they're into. And it will have everything in it, like social studies, science, math, it'll have it. And you can pull it out and you can craft it and you can know that you are giving your children an education that they will cling to, because it means that they are learning. Like children, that's why I think children hate school so much. It's
mhm.
because it feels like it's just being dumped into
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Homeschooling is this beautiful way that they get to like awaken to
Yeah.
their capacity to like learning. Like my 9-year-old is reading about Houdini today, right?
Mhm.
He's like so amazed, like what?
Yeah.
He would dive in the water and like break. I was like, yeah, babe,
That's
don't
so
you
good.
try it, but
Like, please don't you try. Let's talk about that first, okay? I love that. I when my youngest, when we did a lesson on like the environment, we actually visited a recycling plant. And that was so amazing. Like we visited a recycling plant, we did like yard like
Ooh,
cleanup, like street
yeah.
cleanup,
Mhm.
like it like we did like lots of different activities. And she still talks about that to this day. It's been like a year, maybe a year and a half, and we will go for a walk and she will start picking up things from off the street because mommy, they littered. And so like, it doesn't have to be worksheets. And it like sometimes I think one of the boundaries or one of the barriers is that we think that we have to be really smart and a teacher ourselves.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my both of my sons have surpassed me.
Yeah.
in what they learn, right?
Mhm.
But and I'm glad, right? That's what we want.
Mhm.
And so, like, there's never, I'm glad you brought that up. There's never this weight of I am the poorer outer of
Mhm.
information.
Mhm.
No, you get them to the information. My daughter is learning exponents today. And
Mhm.
one of the things that she wanted to understand, because in math, sometimes they just give you the tip. Well, they gave her the tip that could give her the answer, but she was like, but why, mommy? Why does that tip work? And I was like, girl. So we went searching. We went to
Mhm.
YouTube and we found a video that explained exactly why 2 raised to the power of 0 equals 1. And I,
Mhm.
too, was amazed because
I did not know that.
I know that.
Like, I am in
I just
school
took
too,
the
bro.
I just took the rule and ran with it, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she was like, "No, I want to understand it, mommy. I want to know
That's so
why that
good.
works." You
That
don't
is
have to
so,
know
so
everything, right? Like you can take what they want to know deeply and you can help them find it out, right? And then you know it too. Like it's really, yeah, it's not a I know everything and I have to teach it.
yeah, that's so good. Do you have particular like your favorite resources for homeschooling that you could share with us?
Um, yeah, I love we do something called Easy Peasy, and that's
I've heard from you.
online.
Mm-hmm.
And they craft out everything. Any subject you want your child to do, or your child, my children will go in there and pick subjects they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all laid out. They have it laid out from day 1 to day 180. What work they have to do. So my children go to that page and
Mm-hmm.
it lines up what they need to do. They check it off. They bring it to me. I love Easy Peasy. Check it
Mm-hmm.
out. The Robinson curriculum is a philosophy and a curriculum that we don't follow to the T. Okay. I don't like being rigid, but
Mm-hmm.
I love the philosophy that he gives. And he says that children are self learners, they are
Mm-hmm.
born self learners. And if you supply them with the ability to read and the belief that they can teach themselves anything, they will run with it. And I
That's
have found that to be so true for my children. So
yeah.
the Robinson curriculum, we definitely we do Saxon math. I found that that has built my children into very strong mathematicians. They wouldn't describe themselves as that, but it is a fact that Saxon has really helped us to get there. And I think that's it. We use the library as a crazy resource. Like if my
It's
kids,
amazing. It's
if they're
amazing.
interested in anything, they know, boom, let's go. And when we
Mm-hmm.
go to the library, it's free reign. So like if
Mm-hmm.
my 4th grader gets a book that's on the 11th grade level, I don't tell him put that book back. I say, okay, that's what you want. That's what you want to read. There you go.
That's creative plan. I love that. So, some people also are concerned that, and I know that you said this earlier, that science has said and studies have shown that homeschool kids can perform and even outperform kids that are studied through school, public school. However, some parents have a concern that they will get behind or that it's not
Mhm.
adequate enough for public school. They won't graduate with other kids. How do you address that, or have you addressed that with your own kids?
Mhm. It's such a sticky kind of thing. So my children know what grade they're in, just so when we're out in public and somebody asks them, they can say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not married to that grade.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, my 1st grader is reading 4th grade books,
That's amazing.
right? But when
Mhm,
we go out, he says I'm in 1st grade.
mhm,
And so, for me, like, there are some people who do graduate their children early
mhm.
because well, I don't know. I hope it's because their children are driven and want to go to the next level. I don't I don't see myself doing that. I don't feel right about doing that. I just think that there's a maturity level. But if you feel it's okay, like you don't, there's no box. There's no box. And
Okay.
so if you know like your child is accelerating at a high rate and they probably are ready for a college course earlier, go ahead.
So when
Like
you say graduate them early, do you mean like grade to grade, or do you mean from like elementary to middle to high school, or from high school to college? Like what specifically are you talking about?
all of it.
Mm.
All of it. There
Mhm.
are homeschool families who have graduated their child who would be called an eighth grader because that child at home has had enough time to learn all the things that a person has to learn to be able to graduate.
Mhm. That's
And
good.
they've taken the test for it and they've proven it to the fact that that eighth grader has applied to college and been accepted into that college
Wow.
because they've passed all the classes
That's
that
so
it takes to
amazing.
get there.
So there is a actual test
Yep.
that they take to ensure that they meet the standards or the, I don't know what you call it, this the protocol for that would be compared to public school kids.
Yep. Yep. They have
Wow.
to do, yeah, they have to do, it's, I think it's an admittance test.
For college.
Yeah, for college. And even
Wow.
community colleges now are jumping on it.
That's so good. That's
I
so good.
have a friend who has an eighth grade girl who is already finishing up 12th grade math. And so she is going to take the placement test for community college so that she can take college classes her freshman year
That
of
is so so good.
high school, what you
That is
would
so
call
good.
high school.
Mhm.
But yeah, so yeah, homeschooling is just that free where you can, but I think it's free on the other side too. So like if you have a third grader who is struggling and still reading at first grade level, like it's okay because there's no pressure
Mhm. Yeah. We
to
can take our
drag them
time, that's what you were
along.
talking about earlier. Mhm.
You have time. And
Mhm.
I'll tell you, I used to teach in the public school.
Okay.
I taught fourth grade. I had fourth graders who came to me reading on kindergarten level.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's right to blame, oh, they didn't have good teachers. I'm just going to be honest. Some children, the path to reading is just a longer, slower process.
Mhm.
Never in my life did I have a fourth grader who came reading as a kindergartner who left reading as a kindergartner.
Yeah.
Some of them went past like fifth, sixth grade. Some of them just went to like third grade, but each one of them grew. Because even as a public school teacher, I had the same mindset of meet that child where they are, because that's how you get growth. That's how you get growth from a person. And
Mhm.
really, I want to say this one too. You have to inspire growth.
Mm.
But listen, you only inspire growth if your children can see you growing. Okay?
Wow. Say that again. That needs to be on a t-shirt.
You can't. That's why when I hear people, teachers saying like, "Oh, I can't get them to do nothing," I know right away it's because they don't see you doing nothing.
Good. That's so good. Mhm.
You want to inspire growth, and the only way to do that in children and in grown-ups is to be growing yourself. So, like
Mhm.
inviting them into your struggles, like when you notice it, like, and it doesn't have to be about academics. It could be like cooking. Like, bruh, I realize I suck at this. And so what I'm gonna do to make myself a better cook is this. And then you invite kids into that. Like, what do you want to get better at this year?
Mhm.
What do you see yourself not doing good at that you want to be better at? And
Mhm.
then craft with them, like, what can make you better at math? Do you want to learn your math facts quicker? What, I got some ideas, right? I got some programs, I've got some cards that I feel like if we practice these for 10 minutes a day, it's going to get you there.
Yeah.
I want to drive that home no matter where they are. If they excel in academically, don't feel pressured, right? Don't get into this box. But
Yeah.
if they want to go outside that box, go ahead with them.
Yeah.
If
It feels like that's where the healing is because we were talking about homeschooling as resistance and then healing. And it feels like that's where the healing is, that there's no pressure to be where you're not.
I'm gonna breathe on that one
Yeah.
because for us as Black people,
Yeah.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to pretend like slavery not chasing after us. So we live in like this dual mindset of I got to be better than them, but I still get treated worse than them.
Mm.
And so we get this opportunity with homeschooling to free our children from that horrible weight and just really be able to be free. You are free, baby. You are so free to
Yeah.
be inspired because our Black children, listen, so much capacity there, right? And like I
Mhm.
love homeschooling. I love public schools too. That's my heart. But I love
Mhm.
homeschooling because there is this freedom of I can swim around in all the waters I want to swim around. I got all the time in the world. But you're right, as parents, we have to free our own thinking to be able to not get like, oh, they not doing this yet. The yet is the power word.
Yeah.
It's the power word. I teach it
Mhm.
to my kids. Yet is the power word because yet says there's more time for you to get there.
That's so good.
Just go with it.
Mhm.
And accept that your body is gonna resist. Your body is gonna resist the flow. I love that you put in gym time, right? Because
Mhm.
that sets your body up to say, no, this is a stopping point. I'm gonna stop producing.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
stop and I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about homeschooling because our children get this wonderful world of just being able to be and see themselves as capable of becoming whatever they want.
That's so
It's a
good.
it's a wide open world. But yeah, as parents, like we have to not get we can't drown in that idea. We can trust that everything that our child needs is going to get imputed into our brain so that we can send them on the path to get it. But again, that goes back to that mindset.
Yeah. I feel like that what you just said in regards to believing that everything that our kids need is going to be imputed into us. That's spiritual. That is a
See,
spiritual exchange. That is a spiritual belief that I instinctively, intuitively have and know or can develop
I
in
know.
order to serve my kids in the way that they need to be served.
Yeah. It's and it's a strong resistance that we have to put. But I want people to remember we were born knowing this.
Hmm.
Okay, our people suffered through so many years of we had to program our children to just live to the next day. So your body is going to resist every idea that your child is free,
Hmm.
that you are capable, that you intuitively will know what they need and you will have the resources to provide it. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes, it is your body is going to resist that, not on purpose, but the brain is made to survive only.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we come from a background of mamas who had to take care of somebody else's kids before she could take care of her own. So I want people to know that it's natural for your body to be like, you can't do that. Oh, you don't know how to take care of your own kids. You can take care of other people's kids, but not your own. You
Hmm.
literally will have to develop the language to not judge yourself, boom. Not be guilt, like don't shame yourself,
I
boo.
was just thinking that was my next, that's where I was going to go next because that's what automatically happens. The shame, the guilt, all of the questioning, all of that kind of just comes into that. And so you really have to silence your brain because it tries to talk you out of what you know.
Every time.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
powerful. That is so
Every
powerful. And that is the healing.
that is the healing. And
Hmm.
it frees us to the other sides of the practical sides.
Hmm.
But that, yeah, you're right. Like that's the root, that's the foundation. I can do this not because I have all the answers up front. Right? Not because I'm the smartest person. Not
Hmm.
because somebody did this before me. Okay. Got a lot of first generation homeschoolers,
Hmm.
first generation conscious parents, right? First generation be kind to myself. Because
Hmm.
especially if you ain't never see your mama being kind to herself.
Hmm.
So, like I say, self compassion is that number one thing. Like
Hmm.
you picking up stuff, but like get a community. right? So that when you start weighing yourself down, you got a good sis in your ear who could say, I carry that weight too, hand it on over. I know where to put it, right? I know where to put it, and I got something to replace it, right? Like, we're not just taking stuff from each other. That's when you talked about community, that's what I love about community. The girl online didn't just say, yo, you abuser, you need to figure this out. Click, click, click.
And she could have, but thank goodness she didn't. Because there are some community members that will do that too.
I'll tell you, I raise my hand. I be like
Yeah.
that myself sometimes,
Yeah.
man. Because it can be heavy. Like, I can't carry your stuff, sis.
Yeah.
But when we can carry each other's stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that sister did.
Yeah.
She picked up my stuff, carried it, wrote the truth on there, you an abuser, and gave me back something new. But I got a group that can help you be different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I
It's
got
heavy. It could be heavy for me now, but here's the group.
right.
Here's other parts of the community that
Yes.
may be available for you. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That's
Yes.
so
And
good.
I'm gonna remember that myself too. This might be too heavy for me, but and
Yeah,
here
and
are
here's
some resources that can kind of help you not have to carry that by yourself, because this stuff heavy.
it is so heavy. It is so heavy. I look, I could really be on here all day with you. This was an amazing conversation. I appreciate you opening up and sharing your wisdom with us because it helped me too. I'm gonna go back and listen to this one for myself.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about what you offer. I heard you mention your clients. I heard you say that earlier. So that means you're doing something. So tell us a little bit about what your offerings are, where we can find you if we want to connect, all those things.
Yeah. So, you heard how I got into this. I was just thrown into it. And then I believe in, the Lord. So the Lord just made this like a natural thing for me to be able to parent the inner child of other parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started a business where I coach parents in this parenting way.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it Kid Advice. So you can find me on Facebook at Kid Advice with Tanisha Henderson. And I offer advice that a kid would want a parent to do, right? I'm always from the lens of what a child would want that would help them thrive. So I offer one-on-ones. I do group coaching calls, and I have varying ranges of payment because I know we all got varying ranges of payment that we can make. So definitely go on there and see if you find something that fits. I go from as low as $10 to as high as $5 because that's how committed I am to wanting all children and all parents to be able to end their parenthood and say, the kids can say, I enjoyed being a child with you. And the parents can say, I enjoyed parenting you. So.
That's so good. I love it. So Kids Advice on Facebook and Instagram or just Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram. I need to start saying that. Thank
Okay,
you.
Instagram. I will link it in my stories, you guys, for everyone, because we have to make sure that we support anyone that's offering the support that Tanisha is offering our community. We need to support her as well because it is necessary for us for our own healing. It is so necessary. So thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this too, for like talking with me and letting this therapeutic, cathartic stuff happen. Girl, I'm ready for the rest of the day. You good at this. Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right.